Hey basketball coaches and players and fans, today we are going to be breaking down Giannis Antetokounmpo's offensive game, what he does so well to be able to score so easily on his defenders. So let's get down to the clipboard and let's check out Giannis Antetokounmpo. So the first thing that we are going to be breaking down is the ability for him to cover ground. So as we know, the NBA three-point line is 22 feet, which means that where he is able to take off from for his final steps after dribbling before he goes in for a dunk or a layup is quite far. So including the gather step, he is able to cover roughly, if this is 22 feet, that's roughly 23, 24, 25-ish feet from the three-point line, which is crazy because now what we can see here is that's his gather step. He gathers 1, 2, and then up for the massive dunk. Also, to add on to his ability to take off from a distance away, it also helps that his wingspan is massive. This wingspan that we see from here to here is huge. Including both of his arms, his wingspan is 7.25 feet. That's huge. That is absolutely massive. So we can just assume that his arm from shoulder to fingertip is roughly about, I would say, about 3 feet. That is more than most people in this world, and because of that, he's able to, for one, have long strides to be able to go in for that layup or that dunk, but also with that wingspan, he's able to go over top of many defenders, but also stretch out to even clear even more room. And in this move right here, we really get to see what his wingspan is able to do. So what we see here is a quick spin move on his defender. He's able to spin around that defender and take off from the middle of the key over top of a defender and still have room to go to be able to dunk that ball. He doesn't just use his wingspan either. He also uses the length of his legs. He runs like a gazelle for one, but for two, when he does this spin move, he's able to cover, it's 15 feet from the rim or the middle of the rim to the free throw line. He's able to clear about 2/3 of that with just his feet alone. That's 10 feet on a spin move. That's not even a regular running start. That's a spin move. That's 10 feet off of a spin. That's insane, and that is what makes Giannis so great when driving to the rim. Next, we are able to see that he is able to dribble like a guard. He's able to do a quick jab cross over towards his left hand. He's able to get down like a guard. This is that Z formation that you want to see when you're driving towards the rim. And he's able to get his shoulders down below his defenders. Obviously, this one helped with the screen, but with his strength, he's able to go through one hack, two hacks, and then over top of another defender and still dunk that ball. He got hacked by essentially 3 players, and he was able to finish with that drive. So what led to this? Obviously, shoulder strength, core strength is huge. But the way he is able to get his body into that Z, that lightning bolt, whatever you want to call it, to be able to drive towards the rim and find that gap, be able to control that ball, takes a lot of shoulder, forearm, and core strength to be able to withstand all those hits. Something that Giannis uses a lot is the Eurostep. So I just showed you the cross jab. This is the Eurostep. This is a move that Giannis uses an absolute ton of. So what we have here is Giannis driving towards the rim. He takes a gather step. So he's gathered on his left foot. He's able to take 2 more steps after this. He takes a right step. That's like well over 5 or 6 feet towards his right side. That moves that defender way over. Now, when you're usually taking a Eurostep, you're usually stepping there because obviously you're not as tall as Giannis or have the length of legs as he does. So that defender was not expecting that kind of a distance to be covered, which is why he was caught out of position. Next, from there, Giannis is able to take another step 5 or 6 feet around the opposite direction of that player to finish with the layup. This is not just overall size and strength. This is also skill. This is not like LeBron James, who uses 90% of his scoring comes from overall strength and speed. We have Giannis, who is coming with actual skills as well. Just don't tell James Harden that because they don't like each other. Giannis also, in the fast break, is able to control the ball with precision. He is able to drive towards the rim, do a high gather over top of the defender who runs in front of him, which allows him to get by that defender, and he finishes with a dunk. And obviously at the professional level, the NBA level, unlike the high school level, this player is not going to be cutting off Giannis, and even then, even at the high school level, they usually don't cut that player off because they don't want to be postered, and that's what happens. If you are a player who wants to try and become the best defender and known as the best defender in your grade, then what you need to do is when you start seeing players like Giannis driving towards the rim, you need to beat him to in front of the rim, take that charge. 99% of the time, if you can get there before him, you will be able to get that charge. So take that word of advice. If you want to become great, make sure to take those charges. Now, this is an advanced move that I really wanted to show you that you could do as well if you are a player, whether you're a center or a forward or a guard. This move works for all of you. So basically, if you get the ball on the wing, you'd start driving towards the middle. You can back down your player as well. That works too. But what we're doing here is you're doing a quick spin, and then when you land, that gather is actually on that right foot. Now, from there, you take a shot fake, and then you step through. Now, that's actually a travel. He picked up that right foot, but if he kept that right foot down and just moved his left foot, that would have been a clean play. They didn't call it. It's the NBA. They don't call travels, but if he was to keep that foot, that right foot right there, planted to the ground when he did that last step through, then that would have been an absolute clean move. So keep that in mind. That's a great move for you to do. Just don't lift up that pivot foot. Spin, gather, that's your right foot. That's your pivot. You can go shot fake and then step through. Just don't pick up the pivot and go in for a dunk or a layup if you are somebody who cannot dunk. Anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.